I was replaying Assassin's Creed 1 about 2 years ago, mostly because the first time I'd been on a Dell Inspiron laptop. I used the keyboard and trackpad because I didn't own a USB controller, and all the mice my grandfather might have dug out of the barn were made for the IBM PS2. Additionally, it only ran the game at about 20 frames a second because it came from the section under Amazon Black Friday sales titled Books That Can Also Run Doom. This category also includes most Chromebooks, the first 2 Doom novels, and Cows by Matthew Stoke. Got that last one for my grandfather for Christmas one year. Didn't know what it was about. Probably still would have gotten it for him if I did. It was a cow-themed year, you see. Anyway, so I was playing Assassin's Creed 1 and spent the whole time thinking to myself, wow, this game is bad. I spent 6 hours essentially doing the same missions over and over and over and over again. The combat is famously easy. If you're unfamiliar, it basically looks like this most of the time.
Counter!
The cutscenes are fucking miserable little sit-a-thons. They're like playing a visual novel, but without the small pleasure of being able to hit the A button. But you know what? The movement is so much fun. It's not perfect, it's a little jank, and the environment is, well, it's not exactly a McDonald's play place. You know, it's not exactly a crate warehouse. All I'm saying is, if you're a climber looking for your Holy Land, it's not exactly Jerusalem. Except for when it literally is, but even then it's not that good. But it's still really fun, and I couldn't help but want more. So I replayed AC2, which is basically just better in every way imaginable. There's some slight improvements to the movement and the environment that make a world of difference. Free running in Assassin's Creed 2 is like being a flying lemur, leaping, limbs outstretched, vulnerable to naught but the wind and your own dwindling sense of fear, as opposed to the first game where you're a flying, sort of a duck kind of thing with like monkey legs. I like it, but it is also just a bit uncomfortable. Around that time I also played Brotherhood and Revelations and almost replayed 3, but by this point I'd begun thinking, which is a dangerous thing for an unemployed man trying to enjoy the Assassin's Creed games to do. I couldn't stop thinking about how, if there had been one thing the first game had that really stuck with me, aside from when I finally got so bored with it I spent the last 3 hours listening to nothing but Hatsune Miku radio on Spotify, it was the atmosphere. Something about being part of this secret order of idealists in the Middle Eastern Middle Ages really captured my mind. I think it was the ritualism and the history and the imagery that struck me in a way that really no other game in the franchise has. Take the robes, for instance. While iconic and oralicious on every character, they've never worked as well for me as they did on Altair. Not because of the design, which is up there for me, but rather because of its context. AC1 is the only game where the robes don't just feel like marketing to me. They're a part of the world building. They're a central mechanic. Their appearance is informed, not inspired. You got Ezio running around with his goofy ass collars, and Connor with his shit styled like a colonial frock coat that just reminds me of those printed tuxedo shirts. I feel like the design philosophy around their robes was less, let's examine our world and the people who live in it to create something that feels diegetic and will immerse our players, and more, do you get it? So I had reached a point where I wanted to play an Assassin's Creed game that had the things I really enjoyed about them, the free running but that also had a consistent artistic vision that really pulled me into the world. I considered just replaying Black Flag and calling it a day, but then like a psychic shock I received a vision from the Ghost of Christmas tailing missions and decided against it. So I spent the next couple of hours trying to find a game that suited my needs and came up fucking... I turned to my friends with desperation and asked, hey guys, are there any games with movement like Assassin's Creed, like free running I mean? After much deliberation, the ones they agreed on were Shadow of Mordor, Ghost of Tsushima, and Mirror's Edge. I've played Mirror's Edge twice. I love that game. It's in first person.
There's no free roam. It's not the same.
Shadow of Mordor and Tsushima, I admittedly still have not played, but I've done a little bit of research and I'm pretty confident that they don't fit the bill. My research basically consisted of looking up each game's title followed by free running. Shadow of Mordor netted me a few sick fucking compilations of dudes jumping over single barrels and also jumping off of buildings and landing on the ground. Ghost of Tsushima? Dude, that went fucking hard. I found this Reddit post like 2 days ago, which is what set me off on this again. In it, my lord, my god above, the man I send my taxes to, Trash Daddy 182, mentions that the Saboteur is literally like Assassin's Creed in Nazi-occupied Paris. This is exactly what I wished for. Thank you, the monkey's paw. It's been years. I'm tired of hearing about your prototypes and your dying lights and your infamouses. You know, infamous is probably the closest, and I think that's really fucked up. We should not live in a world where Ubisoft has a monopoly on cool third-person parkour games. I'm flabbergasted. At this point, I'm like, fuck all that shit about artistic integrity. Please, somebody just make a game. Your competition is Ubisoft. That's like running a lemonade stand across the street from the guy selling snow cones made out of his own frozen urine. My god, if I weren't so creatively impotent, I might do it myself, but unfortunately, I'm just so impotent. Or something. I don't know, man. This video feels like a cry for help. I'm gonna see Trash Daddy in my dreams telling me to play Minecraft in third person with auto jump turned on. I honestly hope I'm wrong. I hope somebody finds this video, takes 8 seconds to scroll down to the comments and type Dr. Dre's parkour simulator and leave like they didn't just hand me fire from the gods. I am an original human, naked in the cold, clutching a patchwork fabric of rabbit pelts, forcing raw meat down my throat, which is sore with the flu, and all I need to make it better is a version of Assassin's Creed 1 that's like good.